Of course, have coverage of that speech on Tuesday. From politics here to politics in Europe, because Ursula von der Leyen, the European Commission's first ever female president, is meeting resistance from EU governments in her request to create a gender-balanced executive team known as the College of Commissioners. Despite asking each country to nominate both a man and a woman to the 26-person team, 16 men and just 5 women have been put forward for the roles so far. To discuss the implications of this, I'm joined by Jacob Kirkegaard, who is Senior Fellow at the German Marshall Fund's Brussels office. Thank you very much for joining us on BBC News. So just explain what this 26-person body is.
Well, this is the Commission. I mean, these are basically, according to the EU treaty, each commission or each country, each member state has one commissioner. And they are obviously led by the president, Ursula von der Leyen, but then their portfolios, and I think this is the key political issue here, their portfolios are going to be distributed by the president, von der Leyen, and nominated or confirmed, if you like, by the European Parliament. But I think really what's going on here is that last time in 2019, when we had the first female president of the Commission, she clearly made some political gains for Brussels, if you want to put it that way, by basically requesting member states to nominate both a man and a woman. This time around, member states are fighting back. They don't like the Commission telling them what to do. And the EU treaty is quite clear. This is a member state prerogative. They decide who they nominate as their commissioner. So we will see what happens. But certainly this is a classical power struggle between member states and Brussels.
So why do you think so many of the states are not doing what Ursula von der Leyen has asked them to do?
I don't think they're deliberately trying to slight her, but I think it's simply a matter of domestic politics. And the fact that it seems like most of the senior commissioners that have been renominated, they happen to be men. This wasn't a guarantee, but this is just how it sort of turns out. This isn't deliberately, I would say. It's just simply that for each member state, they have their own domestic politics. Some might even, I guess, have some political gain by, standing up to Brussels, if you might put it that way. But it's not a deliberate attempt to put as many men, to send as many men to Brussels as possible. It's just a, coincidence, I would argue, that politically there is no one in the member state capitals that have any interest in spilling any capital or political capital in rectifying. So this is the situation that we find ourselves in.
So how important do you think it is for Ursula von der Leyen to get that gender balance right?
I don't think personally it's that important to her. I think what she will have to do is to ensure that the European Parliament accepts this. But then it becomes a power struggle between the European Parliament and member states. So what I think Ursula von der Leyen can do is that she can take the women that have been nominated and give them the heaviest or juiciest portfolios so that the public representation of the Commission, obviously led by herself, will be much more gender balanced in the eyes of the European public, because a lot of the quote unquote surplus men that have been nominated, they will get portfolios that quite frankly are not that important. So she has cards to play, but there is going to be a political process playing out in the European Parliament, and we will see how the newly elected parliamentarians address it.
We will indeed. Jacob Kirkegaard, thank you very much for your time.